Alright, so let's pretend for a second that Dying Light hasn't been around for like 11 years. Dying Light is an open world horror game where you play as this guy. And after hot dropping into Haran and freaking instantly dying, we find ourselves in a literal zombie land over the course of the next 32 years. Here on the channel, I think it's pretty clear by now that we like to push ourselves and the games we play to the absolute limit. So naturally, that led me to wonder one question that other people would probably find stupid. Just how far can you get in each Dying Light game before you're forced to kill a zombie? Before that though, just as a reminder, if we can manage to get the channel to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year, I'll do a challenge so difficult it'll take me months to finish. Okay, back to the video. I guess we'll go in chronological order with this video since I'm not crazy enough to start off with like Dying Light 2 or something first. While this isn't my usual type of video where I have challenge rules set in place that I have to follow, I think it's still a good idea to predetermine some things. Number one, as a general rule of thumb, if a zombie dies without my interference, it won't count. And number two, just in case it needs to be mentioned, for clarity, it is allowed to be grabbed, attacked, or killed by the zombies. Don't worry, I can return by death. It's kinda hard to say just how far we could get with an experiment like this. I mean, I have played the game all the way through like 300 times by this point, but since there are so many variables to each situation, there's no telling just how far we might get before we need to kill a zombie. Oh. Well, that was fast. Okay, so I don't know if we can, like, lead this guy around and maybe he'll fall on something and die, but something tells me probably not. Oh, this guy doesn't even attack you. He's been friendly to me this whole time. Hello. Oh, nope. Yep. You can get mad if you get too close. So we're on the very first mission of the game in the prologue called Awakening. Raheem here is absolutely terrified of this floor of the tower because of this singular zombie, saying the person trapped in this bathroom might as well be trapped in a mine cave-in. Crane takes that as a personal challenge to prove his worth as a newcomer to the people in the tower, and that's how we end up on this mission. I tried basically everything I could possibly think of to not have to kill this guy, but in the end, the very first zombie we encounter is the one we are forced to kill not even 10 minutes into the game. Okay, so there is simply nothing I can do here. I led him to every room. I tried getting him to follow me and just to fall on stuff, let him hit me. I even tried dying. I don't think there's anything I can do here. I have to kill the zombie here, so that was quick. Since this would probably be a pretty short video if I didn't do this, I'm gonna see just how far we can get outside of the prologue too. Alright, we are finally done with the prologue. Now, how long can we go before we need to kill a zombie? I do have a couple missions in mind that I think will be what ends up forcing us to interact with a zombie, but the real question is going to be how many times I can maneuver around having to kill them. If I had to guess, I think the arena fight is going to be our absolute limit, because out of all the hours I've spent playing this game, I can't think of one time that I've seen a demolisher injure itself while fighting me. But until we get to the next zombie encounter, there's going to be a lot of running around the map. Okay, so here's a good example of a mission that we can kind of get around. For example, the game wants us to clear the airdrop area here, but we don't have to kill these guys actually. All we have to do is get them out of the area. Didn't even die. And there you have it. Now for this part. You guys have seen this about 1,000,000 times at this point, so there's no possible way you'd want to see it again, right? Oh god. Oh god, you are so slow in this game. Okay, so not gonna lie, that was actually the more intense nighttime I've faced in a long time. I was chased basically the entire way back. But we still haven't had to kill any zombies, so we're going strong. Now that we've successfully ruined the tower survivors' lives, the next story quest takes us to meet Rise and through a whole load of other objectives before we get to the next place where you need to interact with zombies. These guys have a board meeting about who's gonna go risk their lives asking Rise for some antizin. It ends up being me. Wait, who even is that guy over there? I run all the way over to his garrison, ask him for the antizin. He basically goes, and I end up doing his homework. First, he sends me to a radio antenna to try to get it back online, and I meet Toad for the first time. You aren't required to kill a single zombie here, I just ran around them. And yes, I made sure none of them blew up from this car or this gas barrel. I climb all the way to the top, and nothing. There is a zombie at the top of this antenna that looks staggeringly like the one from earlier, and this one is also friendly. Coincidence? I try again with the second radio tower, and it's actually there. Have a random encounter with a survivor. Oh man, I'm so sorry, but I can't help you. Threaten to break this poor guy's legs, and finally come across a small settlement thing that needs me to clear the area. Okay, well, one of the exploding guys already blew up for some reason. Okay, just close the door. There we go. Now, I'm not sure what we're gonna do here, but we do have water in this area, so let's see if we can just get these zombies to fall over somehow. Oh, wait a minute, there is another thing. We do have the campfire in the middle. Maybe we can just lead them over the campfire a bunch of times. Oh, is that gonna work? I did do damage, like you can see they're all bloody now. The fire does seem to work a little, but it's an absolute pain trying to get them to walk through it. Then I spent the next half hour trying to find a better way to go about this. Why are you standing like that? There's no hard time limit like there is for other missions, but with this one in particular, if you somehow make it all the way until the sun goes down, volatiles have absolutely no problem with entering this village and trying to kill you. So I have to hurry and get this done before night falls at all costs. Come on, man. You've got one job. Oh, he was underwater there for like a millisecond. Well, there's one. Oh, well. That one just walked into the water on purpose. Your turn. Get over here. Yeah, they love to get stuck on this bridge. I don't know what it is. Come on, man. Okay, well, you stay over there, I guess. I'm gonna go back over here. Back to the fire. This is a much more efficient method, I think. Even though they definitely don't like to walk into the fire. Alright, yeah. Do that. Do that. Nope, it's not gonna do any damage to him, is it? Alright, get over here. I need him to do a lunge at me. There we go. There we go. Perfectly timed lunge. And where's this last zombie? There you are.
Tower speaking.
Oh no. It's a race against the clock now. Yes! Yes, get him! Oh. Yes, kill him! There he goes. And we cleared out this whole village? Wait, are you kidding me? Is there a zombie over here? Oh my god, there's a zombie all the way over here. What are you doing? Get out of this corner. Oh god, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it now. We had one more zombie to do this whole time. I would love to, Jade. I would absolutely love to. God dang it. If I could stop going. Oh, there he goes. Yes!
Nope.
There we go. Just in time. Literally down to the second. Ugh, I'm so glad to be back to the running portion of this. That was rough. Alright, now that we're done with this Pact with Rise mission, well, we have one more thing we need to do, and then we'll be done with the Pact with Rise mission. We need to get this missing patrol, and of course that means we have to, well, we don't have to, but if we don't take out this gunman, he's gonna shoot me a lot when I try to go get this one guy down here. So, good thing that we aren't doing a pacifist challenge right now, and I can kill this guy. Give me 1 second.
Your lost patrol. Something written.
Got him. Going off that same logic, the school section in the siblings mission that follows is almost entirely made up of bandits that we're able to kill. There are zombies that I just end up running around, and the two that I can't, well, that problem kinda ends up solving itself. But the real problem is in the next objective as soon as we leave the school, where we have to kill this bolter to give his liver to Zara to research. Bolters are easily the biggest pushovers in the whole game, but when you're not able to interact with them, they become as difficult to deal with as boss level enemies. The strategy here is simple, but definitely not easy. All we have to do is chase them and cross our fingers that they trip over something and die. If I hadn't done something similar to this in another challenge before trying this, I would have questioned if it was even possible. And try as I might this time around, I simply couldn't pull it off, despite the thing falling over multiple times in chase. But since I was such a low level in agility at this point in the game, after about 14 minutes, the bolter got away. So in the meantime, here's a video proving that it is possible to get past this point in the game without having to kill the bolter yourself. Yes, he's dead! We got him! Alright, now we'll get this tissue to Zara. I don't think we have to kill zombies for the second half of the siblings quest, so we should be good to move on like directly after that.
Omar, behind you! Behind you!
Omar had AirPods in. Don't be like Omar. Oh no. Actually, there is a part of this mission that is going to give us a lot of issues. Okay, so we go into this building, and then there's going to be other zombies in here. I would like to say I don't think we'd have an issue with these zombies, especially if I could somehow get them, you know, on top of this and then they fall. If I could make them do that repeatedly. Oh wait, maybe I could do this. Hold on. Alright, that's 1 for 1. 2. Why do they just not realize there's a hole there? That's amazing. Now there is another zombie that's going to be introduced here, but it's possibly the worst zombie that could have been introduced in this moment. This guy. That's a good question to ask you guys. Feel free to comment down below what your least favorite zombie type is in any zombie game. Left 4 Dead, Dying Light, State of Decay, anything. Absolutely nothing I did to this toad seemed to do any damage. My tried and true method of making them fall down into the sewer proved ineffective, since he seems to have more advanced pathing than the other zombies. And that also goes for knocking him off of high places, or trying to get him to fall into spikes. It just isn't gonna happen. This is where it is. I did not expect this to be the location. This probably took me around 2.5 hours, but I will be generous and say you can do around 2 hours of gameplay of Dying Light. Now, what do you guys think about Dying Light 2? How long do you think we can go in that game before we have to kill a zombie? Alright, so this is a brand new day for me. If I sound any different, then that would be why. But let's go ahead and see just how far we can get in Dying Light 2 without having to interact with the local wildlife. Spike, how much I've missed you. So I've already done this prologue, you know, countless times by this point. So I kind of have an idea of just how far we'll probably be able to go before we have to kill a zombie. But I'm gonna, of course, give it my best shot to try and get around it if possible. Okay, so there are zombies here, but we can avoid them. There's gonna be a zombie falling on my head here. Well, but we are currently at a point where the game is going to force us to fight. I'm not sure if we have to kill them, but it is pretty likely here if I had to guess. But let's give it a shot. The biggest issue we're going to have is this stupid Banshee guy, but I have a plan. So let's run over this way. If you come over this way, there is a cliff. I'm going to stand on the very edge of it, and I'm going to try and get the Banshee, at least that zombie in particular, to do a specific attack where she, like, lunges at me really fast. Uh-oh. Well,
Round 2. Fight.
Here we go. It's gonna jump at me. Oh, come on. Acting as if there's an invisible wall there. Okay, so obviously this is not going to work. There is another way that we can go, and we've already seen one zombie perish in this way, so let's try and get the Banshee to die over here or something.
Nope.
Unfortunately, between the two games, Dying Light just has... Oh. Well, there goes one. We did it! Yeah! Yeah! I was about to say, between the two games, Dying Light just has the better physics and stuff. It's almost as if all the zombies are based off of animations in this game. So let's just get some of these zombies to go this way now. I think this is going to be the best way to go about this. Oh, he followed me over the edge. But hey, surprisingly enough, the prologue seems to be possible, unless there's another portion of the prologue that I'm forgetting about where you need to kill zombies. As the prophecy foretold, there is about to be another fight sequence before the actual end of the prologue, but since we're able to still take out the bandits, that gives us plenty of leniency to actually get there. The story goes something like this. We make our way through this tunnel, meet up with Spike, he tells us about an informant, we meet up with the informant, he dies, and we gotta go talk to someone in town to learn the info he was supposed to give us anyway. Along the way we get bitten by this thing, and we start to turn like 2 or 3 times. Since we don't have a biomarker that tracks when we're about to turn, naturally, the survivors in town don't quite trust us yet. And this leads us to our next encounter where I need to fight. The strategy for me is to stand right on the very ledge of that platform. The other strategy I have is I could try and stand right here because for some reason UV light bleeds through. Why are they not following me up here? Okay, here we go. So yeah, I stand right here and they won't be able to get to me because it's a UV light area. Come on, man. Okay, so they jump into it one time, and then they correct themselves to get outside the UV light. So I'm guessing this method is not possible, unfortunately. So that only leaves this method, which might not be possible either. Oh, I don't know why, but he just, he ran over the edge himself that time. It seems to be very, very inconsistent, is what I'm seeing here. I won't go too deep into the technical side since I don't know all the details, but here's my best guess as to what's happening. Unlike the first game where zombies could walk off ledges at any time, Dying Light 2 seems to only let them go over large drop-offs if they're already in a ragdoll state. So something like the bolter launching himself off the building earlier probably wouldn't happen on its own, unless something first forces the zombie into a ragdoll state. My best guess is that this has to do with foot placement. As we saw earlier, enemies adjust their legs to match the surface they're standing on. This is just a theory, but if that's how it works, then all we really can do is get lucky and hope that they trip over something and fall. And eventually, they definitely fell. Yep, see, there he goes. Don't worry, that's not all. There's gonna be more. I've got to do it all again.
And his name is John C.
Well, only one more. Oh, yep, that's how you do it. And we are, in fact, able to get past this without actually having to kill the zombie ourselves. Over the next half hour of gameplay, the zombies honestly start to feel more like set pieces than actual threats. Even in places like the infested hospital and the tunnels, the only time one is even somewhat dangerous to us is during our first face-to-face with the Spitter. And even then, he's only annoying because if you're too slow opening the door, he'll spit on you and interrupt the minigame. So to move on, I just do it faster and finish it before his attack lands. After that, we spend even more time doing things that have nothing to do with the infected, like chasing down half-assed Hubie and retrieving the Lazarus from this kid that stole it. Doing this experiment really puts into perspective just how much they focus on the stay human part of this game. The next time we're actually required to fight infected to progress is almost 40 minutes later when we start Sophie's unruly brother quest and have to rescue this thing from a dark zone. Okay, so we are approaching the next point where we usually are forced to kill a zombie. If we actually have to, I'm not sure, but let me show you what we have to work with. It's going to tell me to clear the area of the infected in order to search for Barney. I wish we could just refuse to do this mission entirely, but we definitely cannot. So I'm not going to use this sword on him. I'm going to try and lure him over here. He, for some reason, doesn't even see me as an enemy. Well, he made it very easy on me. He kind of just immediately did it this time. Okay, let's do it again. There's going to be a lot of zombies. Let's see if we can make it happen quicker, if possible. There's one. He did like a whole flip around that thing. I don't understand why sometimes they decide to walk off and sometimes they don't. You know what? What if I got him up on this thing?
Fantastic.
This is going to be quite annoying trying to do this because I am always going to be low on my immunity doing this. Oh my god, he's actually climbing up. Well, I guess that's one way of doing it. They're both climbing up. Oh, they all three climbed up. I don't understand what makes them fall off sometimes. It is just entirely random, it feels like. I think it's safe to assume I've successfully found how to deal with normal walkers for this mission, but the virals are a different story altogether. I tried for 20 minutes and used up all my antizen boosters trying to find a way to bypass this area without having to kill them, but no matter what I did, it didn't seem to matter. They never tripped like the other ones did, and if they went down to the bottom floor, they could just climb back up whenever they wanted with absolutely no issue. I even found out that the virals can climb up these signs somehow. Yeah, there's not much I can do here, I don't think. I think this is it. So we got 2 hours in. This is 1 hour 58 minutes before we have to kill some zombies, because these guys, as far as I know, are not able to be dispatched without you taking them out. And I will see you guys in Dying Light the Beast. And here we are in Dying Light the Beast. I pretty much already know where this is going. I have played this a million times by now. I have like 300 hours in the game already. I've played through it enough times in recent memory to remember right off the bat how long we're going to be able to go for. So let's get in and do this, I guess. After the events of the first Dying Light, this guy has been captured by the Baron and has been being experimented on for like 13 years. But after the Baron brings in a new test subject, it breaks free and we see our chance to escape. I crawl over here, perform vandalism, crawl through a hallway, walk through another hallway while juking zombies, sneak past these other zombies, then just as we're about to escape, we get locked into this narrow corridor with these two. And here is our first section where we are put into a zombie encounter. We're supposed to kill these guys. What is the objective? Kill the infected. So yeah, this is probably where this ends. I don't think there's anything we can do here. It's not like they can fall over on anything. We're kind of enclosed in this tiny location. There's nothing that they can trip over. They never trip on anything themselves. I can't move on. I kind of figured. But yeah, this is where this ends already. We're gonna have to kill these guys. We got 12 minutes in this time around. Now I will get us out of the prologue and we'll see how long it takes for that. Now we need to get to the monastery. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know right away how far we're going to be able to get, but we'll still do it anyway just to get it on video. There is not a lot to explain here. We get to the monastery, parkour inside, and need to clear out some zombies. I try my best to lead most of them out this door, then close them out. Then the rest of the zombies that we need to kill are mostly located on the upper floors. And right at the top of the stairs, there's this conveniently placed lack of a handrail that I can lure the zombies off of and take out pretty easily. But directly after turning on the electricity and meeting up with Olivia, we're forced into one of the many boss encounters in this game. Alright, so let's see. Running into the wall, does it do any damage? Pay close attention. It does not. He did a lot of damage to the wall, but not to him. There's not a whole lot here to look at. How about the doors? He hit me. I didn't do any damage to him. Well, at least I got to do all this with an absolutely amazing soundtrack in the background. But I have tried a lot of things at this point. It's just as I expected. He can't die to anything other than me. So I guess this is where I'm gonna have to call it for Dying Light the Beast. We made it 30 minutes with this recording. It took me 30 minutes to get to this point. So I guess I will just have to take him out now. And there we go. So, the zombie land we're thrown into in the Dying Light games is honestly quite forgiving on just how much you actually need to interact with the infected. I don't know why you would choose to play the game like this unless you're doing it for a challenge or something, but it turns out that running away is a pretty reliable strategy. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It took me way too long to make. Special thanks to all my members and subscribers. I appreciate you all. And if you liked this video, try watching this one next. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. I will see you in the next one.